Hey everyone, how's it going? So we're back with some more Explorer and Pioneer content, and we're playing some Boros Convoke today. So this is a deck that used to be really quite powerful in the format. Fallen off a little bit in recent times, but let's see if we can make it do a bit of work today. We've got a couple of new additions to the deck from recent sets. So the idea behind the deck, if you've not seen it before, is that you essentially go wide with lots of cheap creatures. So you have Novice Inspector, Thraben Inspectors, Ornithopters, Warden of the Inner Sky, Voldar and Epicure, all these kind of powerful zero drops. I mean, we could put that there if we really wanted to. Zero drops and one drops. The tokens that come along with the Voldar and Epicure, Novice Inspectors and Thraben Inspectors are good targets for a Gleeful Demolition, which will turn them into 3/1/1 tokens, and then we use all of those cheap creatures to power out our powerful Convoke spells. So Venerated Loxodon is the first one, 4/4 for 5 with Convoke. So just as a reminder, Convoke says that each creature you tap while casting this spell pays for 1 generic mana or 1 mana of that creature's colour. So if you have 5 creatures on the board, you can basically power this out for free. And Venerated Loxodon is the 4/4 that says when it enters, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature that convoked it. So as well as getting a essentially cheaper, powerful 4/4 creature, you buff up all the creatures that you use to cast it. The Knight Errant of Eos does a similar kind of thing, but a slightly different effect. So this is another 4/4 for 5 with Convoke. When it enters, you look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal up to 2 creature cards with mana value X or less from among them, where X is the number of creatures that convoked Knight Errant. Put them in your hand. So yeah, you could use this to essentially redraw 2 more creatures and just keep the train rolling. So yeah, once you've gone wide, then these become very, very powerful payoff cards. And then in the mid-game, we've got our 3 drops are 1 Imidane's Recruiter and 3 Reckless Bushwhackers. Now they do a similar kind of thing, in that we are hoping to cast Reckless Bushwhacker for its surge cost, and similarly Imidane's Recruiter for its creature mode, as well as having an adventure. Both of them say essentially that when they enter, other creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain haste until end of turn. This one actually gives itself +1/+0 as well, so it is slightly better, but can be often a little bit more expensive. So that's a good way of just kind of doming the opponent out of nowhere for a lot of damage. And then we've got 3 Thalias just to slow down opponents who are using a lot of non-creature spells. We do not have any in the main deck. And then 3 Arabella Abandoned Dolls, which is the other new cards. This is red-white for a legendary artifact toy. 1/3, and when it attacks, it deals X damage to each opponent, and you gain X life, where X is the number of creatures you control with power 2 or less. So in a deck like this, we will often have 4, 5, maybe more creatures of that kind, so we can pretty effectively drain the opponent out the game. So yeah, this has been a very impressive aggro deck in the past, so we'll see if these new additions can make any particular difference. In terms of the mana base, again, a relatively light number of lands just because of the kind of deck it is. So we're running 19 lands, dual lands, 1 mana confluence just to help with our casting the colours we need, an Iganjo and a Chefnet Dunes to, if we are kind of flooding out or the game is stalling, then we can use this for kind of pumping our whole board as well. And a couple of planes as our basic lands. In the sideboard, excuse me, in the sideboard we've got a couple of Rending Volleys, Containment Priest, which helps to shut down essentially decks which are trying to cheat powerful creatures into play. Get Lost, we're running the full 4 copies of that as a good removal spell. Invasion of Gobakan not only disrupts the opponent's hand, but we can turn it into a Light Shield array later on and protect our board against mass removal. Rest in Peace, Graveyard Hate. We don't care about our own graveyard, so it doesn't matter that it exiles ours as well. Redain slows down opponents who are essentially running, again, powerful non-creature spells, so puts attacks on anything they try and cast with mana value 4 or greater. And a couple of Wedding Announcements, generates tokens, some card advantage as well, potentially, and then becomes an Anthem effect. So yeah, it's all mostly kind of non-creatures in the sideboard. The main deck just runs creatures, so we can kind of adjust the game plan as and when required. So yeah, Boros Convoke. I'm looking forward to trying this one again. So thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And let's go on to the ladder. There. So it does have Gleeful Demolition and an Epicure, so it's got the bits, but sure, I'm happy about keeping a one-lander. I'm going to have to keep this one-lander, unfortunately. So we'll pop back Imodane's Recruiter. And we'll start with a Novice Inspector. Actual communism, okay. For a moment there, I thought it might be fake communism. Honestly, what self-respecting communist place is it? Is it Phoenix? Phoenix straight in the bin. That's cheeky, isn't it? So let's do some tapping. Yeah, land is good here, actually. Will they get their Phoenix back, is the question on everyone's mind. And the answer is yes. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think they'd be able to resist attacking there. Let's get Warden down. Follow it up with a Bushwhacker. Let's put their life total under some pressure here. Okay, game one to us. Containment Priest is pretty decent here, so is Rest in Peace. How do I feel about Rending Volley? It's probably not good enough by itself. No. So we just need 4 cuts. Arabella. How is that here? I think it's okay. It's not amazing. Thalia, I think, is potentially good. I mean, they will kill it, but it'll slow them down a bit. What to cut? What to cut? I could cut Ornithopter, I suppose. It's not a great way of getting through there. They run basically all flyers. Yeah, this is a good hand. Novice Inspector comes with a token that we can destroy with Gleeful Inspector? Not Gleeful Inspector. What on earth is Gleeful Inspector? Though that would be a fun card. There should be a card called Gleeful Inspector. So we're going to have to be a little careful of... I think I prefer a land here. We're going to have to be a little careful of Anger of the Gods and that kind of thing. But they do have 2 islands, so they're not going to be casting it next turn. Well, let's play Arabella here. Then we'll do some Loxodon action, I think. So we'll tap that, tap that, tap that, tap that, and tap that. That's fine. I don't know why you would just give me the option to do that again. But I will happily take it. Nope, okay, that was a pretty easy win. Wow, we are playing against all the opponents with excellent names today. Do I hate this? I think I do, but then potentially we can do all of the things anyway, even with one land. Now we don't have one land anymore. Everything's coming up button. Spirits. So this is probably the Spirits deck that's running Enduring Curiosity these days. It'll be interesting to see if they counter this with their Mausoleum Wanderer. Definitely what I'd do. Yep. That's fine. Okay, I'm a patient man. So they've got Spell Queller here. So let's trim a Knight Errant. I say trim, discard, in the more common parlance. I'm okay to let them quell this, I think. Just to know more lies. That's better than them having Spell Queller, to be fair. Let's see what they make of Thalia here. Okay, they don't mind it. They love it. No play and no curiosity. I like it. Don't love that. I think let's try and land a Venerated Loxodon. Okay, well, that's frustrating, but we are running them out of cards here, hopefully. And we do have our clue tokens to help us draw back into other stuff. So, start cracking some clues. Ooh, okay. Thalia, do your thing. Now let's Play a Knight Errant. Take both of those. Follow it up with a Voldar and Epicure.
Learned much during
A wandering emperor, indeed.
how we greet our enemies. Remember your training.
Our life total's looking a little fragile here. And by a little, I mean a lot. So I think we definitely need to attack their emperor. Can't have that hanging around.
Until next time, then.
Arabella, come down and do your thing. Pass. Gonna be a close one, this one. If we can attack with Arabella, we're in pretty good shape. But that relies on our opponent not doing very much here. Okay, but we don't seem to be dead. Well, that's a problem. Okay, so Imodane's Recruiter into Bushwhacker is a lot of damage, but it's not enough damage, I don't think. But we don't have any other way of gaining life. Sadly, the lifelink on that Sheltered by Ghosts did them the world of good there. Yep, not that close in the end. Never mind. So I definitely want Rending Volley here. How is Invasion of Gobakan against a Spirits player? I actually think it's pretty reasonable, so let's put that in. And again, we'll ditch the Ornithopters. The flying is not doing a huge amount good here. Get Lost, no. Containment Priest, no. Rest in Peace, no. Wedding Announcement, no. I think that's fine. Yep, this is decent. No Gleeful Demolition is a bit sad, but never mind. Thalia, do your thing. Epicure into Bushwhacker. Okay, I don't mind casting Knight Errant here. Because it gets around Spell Queller. Just a Thraben Inspector. Well, that's not the best. Presumably they're going to do something at some point. Cast Spell Queller with no targets is fine by me. So hit them to 7. Play another Inspector. Tap, tap, tap. Yeah. I think we can do better. Do they have a Sheltered by Ghosts? Not by the look of things. Yeah, well, I said we could do better. I was hoping for a bit better than that, but... One, two, three. One, two, three. And these don't require you to tap them to sacrifice them, which is good.
Feel the energy of battle, then guide it like water.
Yeah, it's still fine.
You are not much of a roadblock.
Draw. Play another Warden. We'll do some tapping with these. No to Iganjo, as much as the damage on some level is quite tempting. Well, they've got a lot of land. Oh, my kingdom for a rending volley. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me hugely.
I have got new moves to teach you.
Right, let's epicure it up. Tap, tap. Draw. Play another one. Tap, tap, tap. Yeah, we'll go at the Emperor here, I think.
See you later.
Say go. They have another Sheltered by Ghosts. That's a little bit tragic. Because then they can probably start attacking. That by itself isn't a huge concern. Ah, so you've got another Wandering Emperor, eh? Truly, you are foxed me completely there. Okay, that is a good thing to be drawing. Well, I'll keep the attacks. Activate only as a sorcery, so I will need to do this again. Yeah, Rending Volley is great here. Imodane's Recruiter. Any of the things, really. Well, let's keep going with our Scry value. No. And I'm still playing around Emperor here. If they attack again, not taking that risk. Once this grows, if this lives long enough to have another counter on it, then I will double block, obviously. That's annoying. Interesting. They're trying to put me one turn away from dead here. Okay, we've got some quick maths to do, so... I mean, they must be dead to this, I'd have thought. Warden of the Inner Sky. Then it's... Imodane's Recruiter. Attack with everything. That feels like lethal. And indeed it is. Okay. Long, tough game, but we did get there. After multiple scries. I think I am going to put back in Ornithopter on the draw. It's a good blocker, if nothing else. Take out Invasion and a Knight Errant. Oh, I do like these sort of matches. Closely fought, powerful stuff. Okay, well this is a great one too, because we have a potentially double Gleeful Demolition to get past their counter spells. Let's see what they have to say about this. Not much. Rattle Chains is a-okay. It does make our Gleeful Demolitions more expensive, but I'm kind of okay with that as things stand. Okay, not anymore, it doesn't. That's actually quite a helpful thing for them to have done. So let's put them under some pressure here. Damage. Straight off the bat. And I could potentially blow up their portable hole as well if I wanted to with Gleeful Demolition. That is always a good option. Ooh, nice. Okay. Well... tell you what. Yeah, Split Up is not a card I've seen played, but I like their thinking. Well, this is heavily signposted. Well, it's either Emperor or Spell Queller, and like if it's Spell Queller, I mean, lol, I'm just going to grow my creatures and you can't do anything about it. Yeah. Yeah, who knew this was such excellent anti-spell queller technology? Okay, Enduring Curiosity is of course a good card. But their life total is looking a little shaky here, so they'll draw once. Bleh. Well, this is the danger. But no fear. Even with Emperor coming down, they still have to block. At least I can get my Thalia back here. Sadly, Lethal Demolition does not work on their Enduring Curiosity. It's definitely advantage them here. Just haven't been able to get enough. And now it's just, I mean, this card is just so good, it's ridiculous. I'm not quite dead to their attacks, so I think we just play out and see what happens. It's not looking great, though, let's be brutally honest here. Yeah, not a single rending volley drawn at any point in those two games. Shame. Yeah. Yeah, it's got the same quandary that we had at the beginning of last match. Now, the superstitious part of me thinks you can't do that again. But if we open with Epicure, then we do give ourselves the maximum number of potential redraws to find a land. Okay, the opponent's playing the Demir Waste Not deck that we played the other day. And here was I, hoping they'd run out of land. Okay, well, let's hope that we can find one ourselves. No, we took the risk and it did not work out this time. Should have mulliganed. To be brutally honest. Oh, maybe they're not. Okay, they're not running the Waste Not deck. This is slightly different. Okay, don't mind them fighting my... Okay, it's all Storm Chaser talent all the time, it seems. Yeah, well, that's not very interesting game one. So... well, we'll put in Rending Volley. I'm not sure how much we don't know a huge amount of what else they're doing, so I don't know how much more we need to change. Thalia's good here. Warden's okay. Maybe trim some Loxodons. One of each of these top ends, perhaps, yes. Yep. Start doing our thing. Okay. So I could get Bushwhacker out here. I think that seems pretty decent actually, and then we'll just chill on our 2 other cards. Okay, let's start with Loxodon then. Fine. So this is a variant of the durdle around and get lots of value out of it, but just not blue-black. Don't need to worry about that too much at this point. Well, I'm not going to worry too much about you letting me grow my creatures again. Okay, they've got a lot of cheap spells. We'll just chill on our more expensive stuff for a turn. They've successfully slowed us down here. Discard Knight Errant. Hope for something better. Land is good. Strong commitment to causing me a headache here. I'm going to keep growing my creatures. Yeah, I'm okay with just holding back with Iganjo here. Hit them for 4. Now they have nothing on the board. They have a 1/1 on the board. Now I think Recruiter is a good time to be played. Okay. So yeah, they're just Simic tempo. Don't really... None of their creatures are good enough to justify playing Get Lost. I think Rending Volley is enough. Don't really want Invasion here. Yeah, I think this is fine. Yeah, this could potentially be quite good. Well, they never don't have it. No land, huh? Okay, well, let's be mana efficient, cast Arabella here. And I'm obviously not going to attack into a pretty obviously signposted. I didn't look, actually, did they? They might have topped or bottomed their scry there. Searching for a land with Bushwhack. Sure thing. Set up a Gleeful Demolition into Thalia turn. This makes their life a lot more difficult. And I should, next turn, be able to do... they stopped me from doing Arabella things. I would have done Arabella into Bushwhacker, and it would have been a great moment for everyone. Oh well. So yeah, decent. Boros Convoke isn't what it used to be, I have to say. It's still, even with... Arabella felt okay, didn't do a huge amount. I think it would have done good stuff in that game if the opponent hadn't conceded. But yeah, it's reasonable. But I think there are better aggro options in the format, Gruul and the like. So I'll be interested to see if there are any new cards coming out soon, which can maybe give this a bit of a resurgence. But it did okay. It did okay, and it's always good to test new cards. So here's the deck list. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time.